Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Swatantra Sarvatantreshi Dakshinamurti Rupini Sanakadi Samaradhya Shiva Pradaini Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Brahmadi Deva Vandyaya Sarvalokashrayayate Dakshinamurti Rupaya Shankaraya namo namo. Let us take in Dakshinamurti with 5 deep breaths. Om Shiva Shakti 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 Bhuram bhasya nalo nilombaram Aharnatho himamshu pumam Ityabhati characharatmakamidam Yasyaiva murtyashtakam Nanyat kinchana vidyate vimrishatam Yasmat parasmat vibho Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namayidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. सर्वात्मत्वमिति स्फुटीकृतमिदम् यस्मादमुष्मिन् स्तवे तेनास्य श्रवणात् तदर्थमननात् ध्यानाच्च सङ्कीर्तनात् सर्वात्मत्वमहाविभूतिसहितम् स्यादीश्वरत्वं स्वतः सिद्ध्येतत् पुनरष्टधा परिणतम् चैश्वर्यमव्याहतम् सिद्ध्येतत् पुनरष्टधा परिणतम् चैश्वर्यमव्याहतम् सिद्ध्येतत् पुनरष्टधा परिणतम् चैश्वर्यमव्याहतम्. So from the last class, some of you have expressed your difficulty in accepting Dakshinamurti, Ishvara, Paramatma, who is also in the form of Jivatma. So, I would like to give you one example. You have highly qualified Nobel Prize winner as your guide, professor. Being the ardent, good disciple of that professor, he also has the same kind of love towards you. And one day he asks you, I want to go to this party. Can you please come with me? Can you be the designated driver? So you would go with him, accompany him, and the host will be serving drink after drink after drink after drink. And the professor starts talking in not very appropriate manner and gets into trouble of talking so much. Tell me, will you kick him out, or will you allow anyone else to touch him? You will say, even to the bouncer, wait, I will take care of him. You don't have to touch. And you will bring him home safely. And next day morning, when you see him for the first time, what will you say? Good morning. Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namaidam. Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namaidam. Shri Dakshinamurtaye. Isn't it? Because you recognize, you understand your professor is highly knowledgeable and he is Nobel Prize winner. And that was a very temporary status which he went through as a drunkard person. You very well know that it was the mind of the drunken professor which was acting like that. But the professor is professor, forever and ever and ever with all his knowledge, compassion, and love for you. So that will never get tarnished. In the same way, the third circle Brahman, he is not touched by whatever is happening as thoughts, vritti in the mind. The Atma, what he is, will be always pure. But temporarily, as Jivatma, he is embodied in three shariras. And it is the mind which is making him become intoxicated with the Maya illusion which is around. But he will be forever the pure consciousness. So, Jivatma, that's the reason we should not give importance for the mind of that person. We should be going towards recognizing it is the same Atma, the pure consciousness, which I am also having. I am the pure consciousness. He is also pure consciousness. It is the mind which is making him behave, talk in that manner. So, this Ashtaka really helps us to open our mind and embrace the whole universe as your own self. So, once we are able to contemplate on this point, the life, interaction with the people, with the plants, animals, nature, everything will change thoroughly. Only thing is we have to make our mind contemplate on it. Try to become what the instructions we have received from Shankaracharya through Ashtaka. That will really help us. So, just like that professor, we are all reeling under the grip of Maya, the illusion, as Jivatma. And we are getting satisfied, we are adjusting and readjusting again and again to live the notion that I am the body, I am the mind, and whatever I am seeing around, outside me, is the reality. And accordingly, we are behaving and leading the life, putting the thick veil to the eternal reality that I am none other than Brahman. I am the pure consciousness, nothing else. I am just pure consciousness. We have put a thick veil around that knowledge. So, for how many janmas we can carry on like this in the notion? Somehow we have to come out of the three sturdy walls, Kala, Desha, and Karya Karana Bhava. These three are like the strong, sturdy walls which have covered us, like the prison. How to come out of it? As long as we are in that prison of three walls, which is caused by Maya Shakti, the illusory power, Vikshepa. There is no chance for us to know who I am. So, for that, what is the way out? Like we push the water when we are drowned in the ocean. What do? We have to push down the same water. With the help of the same water, I have to come up. Take the deep breath, get back the energy, and push more, swim more, and come to the shore. Isn't it? If there is a thorn, how do we take it out? With another thorny like needle. Isn't it? In the same way, to come out of this, it is the mind which has made the prison so strong. It is the mind which is going through that prisoned state of existence. So we had to take the help of the mind only. We had to take the help of this Vishwa, which we are living in. So when we are living in this Vishwa, and when we think that we are imprisoned in this Vishwa, the second circle, to come out of it, we have to take the help of that Vishwa only. How? For that, Shankaracharya is giving the next shloka. Bhuram bhasya analo anilo ambara aharnatha himamshu puman. Bhuhu, that is earth. Ambhamsi, that is water bodies, the water. Anala is fire. Anila is the wind, air. Ambara is the sky, ether. Aharnatha, the lord of the day, is sun. So he is called Aharnatha. Himamshu is the moon. Puman, it is the Jivatma, the Jiva. Atma, which is embodied. Puman. Ityabhati characharatmakamidam yasyaiva murtyashtakam. So it is Dakshinamurti, Ishvara, who is in the 8 forms, Murti Ashtakam, in 8 forms, who has pervaded this Vishwa, and he is making it come into life through his presence in 8 forms. Which are they? The 5 elements plus Surya, Chandra, and all the Jivas. Nanyat kinchana vidyate vimrishatam yasmat parasmat vibho. One who understands and experiences this world as that Atma, nothing but that Vibho, that Atma which has pervaded the whole manifestation, the whole universe. Once he understands that, he will see nothing else. Nanyat kinchana vidyate. He sees everything as just Sarvam Brahmamayam. Everything is Ishvara. Because the whole universe is made of the 5 elements. Surya as the energy and moon as the matter. And Jiva is there to experience the combination. And we call it as Vishwa. So, if these are the 8 manifested forms of Ishvara, Dakshinamurti. Vimrishatam, the one who has the sharp discrimination power in him. He is able to see everything as nothing but Atma, Atma, Atma. He is able to see through each manifestation as Ishvara. He can see beyond what the naked eyes or the naked five senses can experience, can perceive. He is able to go beyond Nama Rupa. Even though he is in this world, that Vimrushatam, one who has that capacity to go beyond Nama and Rupa, the name and the form. That is how we normal Jivatmas, ignorant Jivatmas, are leading and perceiving the world. We are perceiving the world as the names followed by form. But this person is able to see beyond the Nama and the Rupa and understands and experiences the whole Vishwa as nothing but Brahman, which is Atma. Nanyat kinchana vidyate vimrshatam yasmat parasmat vibhoho. It is filled with nothing but Ishvara. Sarvam Brahmamayam. Sarvam Shivamayam. That's how he feels. Now, if we look back from the day one of this Dakshinamurti Stotras which we have handled, Shankaracharya has introduced us to Ekarupi Dakshinamurti, who is sitting under the banyan tree, teaching, imparting that Brahmavidya to the Brahma Kumaras and the Saptarishis. That is one Rupa of Dakshinamurti. And in the next one, as Nirguna Brahman, who is Atma, Pratyancha. So he has introduced us to that Rupa of Dakshinamurti as well, as Pratyancha, one who is there in every being, as Atma. Now, he is also introducing us to the whole Vishwa as Dakshinamurti. Now, can you connect the three dots and see how everything is nothing but Dakshinamurti? The whole Vishwa, where Ashtamurti is representing that Dakshinamurti as five elements: sun, moon, and the Jiva, Puman. So, what can we understand by this? I know I am existing. There is no question about it. There is no doubt about it. I am is there. I am is existing. It is very evident. Any child, any ignorant person will say that, yes, I am existing. The problem is, we do not know what is the nature of me and my existence. That nature being Sat Chit Ananda. That Someone has to tell us, someone has to guide us as Guru to show that your innate nature, your innate form is Sat Chit Ananda, the blissful consciousness as your existence. So for that, Shankaracharya and all our scriptures are helping us by telling, yes, you can come out of the ignorance of knowing that your innate nature is Satchidananda. You start seeing everything as Ishvara. Tread in that path to seek, to see, to experience the whole Vishwa as Ishvara. Ashtamurti Raja Jaitri, it comes in Lalita Sahasranama. In Saundarya Lahari also, it comes Manastvam Vyomatvam. In that shloka, how clearly it is described. Shankaracharya describes it. You are the mind, the second circle, mind, in which you are the ether, you are the wind, you are the Agni, you are the Jala, the water, and you are the Prithvi. You have pervaded the whole manifestation. There is nothing which is not pervaded by you. To become the whole Vishwa, you have taken the form as Shiva Yuvati. That's what Shankaracharya explains in Saundarya Lahari. In the same way, even in Dakshinamurti Stotra, we are seeing the presence of Ishvara in 8 forms. So what is the Bhumi is the first one. In Ishvara Srishti, Samashti Srishti, it is the 8 forms, Bhumi, the 8 elements. And it is the Jiva which is creating its own world in the mind as Jiva Srishti, Yashti, as individual, and experiencing the whole world as different from his own self. So, to come out of that, how should one treat all these 5 elements? For that, we need to have that good contemplation. Let us take Bhumi, the earth. Imagine if you are caught in the earthquake when it is happening, major earthquake, and you are in that position. What will be your experience? What will be your feelings? The earth, it is quaking, the earthquake. You become so helpless. And imagine and go through that experience of right now, where you are safely sitting without any hesitation, without any botheration, without any fear. You are depending on that. Isn't it? So, this Bhumi, when we see it as an element, just an element, one of the 5 elements, the mind starts working how to benefit from this earth, what to take from this earth, what is there for me to grab from earth. Me, for me, what is there? As though the whole earth is there for my enjoyment. I feel like saying it. But when I see Bhumi as Ishvara, there is Ishvara in Bhumi, my whole attitude towards earth changes. I become the whole earth. I feel, I respond, I sympathize. At the same time, I know and I will feel one with her, earth. Because I am seeing that Ishwaratva in Devi, Bhumi. The whole experience of Bhumi changes. And see, inside the earth, there is so much of fire. Volcano like fire inside. But on the surface, she is pleasant, hospitable, where we are all getting so much of nourishment. And she is nurturing, isn't it? Not only that, just like a mother rocks the baby in her arms gently, she is moving gently. So gently and rhythmically that we don't even feel that the earth is moving. She is caring in that form because the whole Vishwa has to run, has to work. So she's taking care of in that aspect as well. Samudra Vasane Devi Parvatastana Mandale Vishnu Patni Namastubhyam Padasparsham Kshamaswami. What a beautiful feeling it is. Samudra Vasane Devi, one who is wearing the Samudra as her veil, garment. Parvatastana Mandale, one who is having the Parvatas as her the breast. And Vishnu Patni. Vishnu is the one who is protecting the whole earth. And he is making that Bhumi as his wife. And every day, every moment, I am touching you with my feet. Amma, please excuse me for that. Kshamaswame, pardon me. Isn't it beautiful to see Ishvara, to experience Ishvara? Earth is offering herself as one of the murtis, one of the forms of Ishvara. In the same way, Ambhamsi, that is water. Water is also called Jivana because it has the life-giving energy in it. Again, when we look at water or water bodies as just the element, it is very fearsome. We get frightened. But if you are able to see Ishwaratva in water, the presence of Ishvara in water, it totally changes. I can give you the standard example of Shankaracharya capturing the whole Narmada flooding water in his Kamandalu. When Narmada flooded and it was trying to gulp the cave where Shankaracharya's guru was sitting and doing the meditation. He was in dhyana, so no one could wake him up. So all of the students saw it as element water flooding, and it is taking away our guru. So they were all in panic, great panic and fear. But Shankaracharya, he saw that Narmada river as the powerful, magnificent power, Ishvara. And he addressed, you are such great, magnificent power with so much of compassion. Right now, we need that compassion from you. O Narmada, Ma, please come into my Kamandalu. He accepted her. So much of humility, devotion towards her, Narmada, as Devi, Ishwari. So she obliged. And the transaction of she getting into the Kamandalu also happened so quickly. See the difference? How, if we see it as element, it will scare us. If we see it as Ishvara, one can somehow swim and come out of it. In the same way, Krishna also says, Rasoham apsu kaunteya. I am the essence, taste in the water. Anala, that is Agni. In Rigveda, Agni Mide Purohitam. Agni is given such high status in Vedic culture that he is the right conveyor of our pleadings, appeals, prayer. And he is the carrier of the food to all the devatas who have been invited for that Homa Yaga Yajna. And he is Pavaka as well. Again, during our own period, we have the example. Please go to YouTube and see the fire yogi. It is unbelievable the way that yogi, his old tata, who has been doing so much of Homa, Yaga, Yajnas like that. And the way he carries the Agni as though it is a child, as though it is his own self, he is able to withstand that Agni. For sure, please go and see this. Fire yogi. So there is documentation on him. There you will understand. Once we see Agni not as an element, which is very scary, if we see it as Ishvara, what all we can benefit from it and how we can coexist with fire. Because fire is the one which is keeping us alive in this body. Agni, it is in different forms, different intensities. So it is another element after the Ambhamsi, after the water. The next is Anila. Nilaya is the abode where one stays. resides. Anila is one which doesn't have the abode, but it keeps moving around. So that's also Prana Shakti, the wind. Even he should be seen as one of the Ashtamurtis, as Ishvara's presence. Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi. There are many yogis who live on just drinking the water, not taking any food, just the water. There are many other yogis who just live on the air. So this itself shows that they are not just the elements, they are carrying that Ishwaratva in them. They are very much alive with so much of energy and consciousness in that. So it's a beautiful way of stepping up the ladder by taking this Ashtamurti Upasana, Vishwarupa Upasana. One can certainly go up the ladder. Where? Up the ladder to go within and see how the whole universe is Atma, is that Ishvara. And that Ishvara is Antaryami. That Ishvara has entered me also, you also, everything else. So it is a upasana. Ambara, that is sky, ether, space, which is the subtlest element among all. And it is that ether which holds all other four elements in it. And because it is so subtlest, it is closest to Ishvara, to Ishvaratva. So in Dakshinamurti, Dhyana Shloka also, it refers to Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye namaha. Vyomavat Vyapta Deha. It is unlimited at the same time. It is the subtlest, which has all other four elements in it, holding all other elements. Now, Akasha, in that also there are different varieties. Bahyakasha or Bhutakasha is the Akasha which we are experiencing in our life in this world. Next is Chittakasha. Chittakasha, that is the space, the ether, which is bigger than the Bahyakasha, which is in the mind. Just think. Chittakasha is the Akasha which is in the mind, which is huge, bigger than the Bahyakasha or Bhutakasha. And Chidakasha, Chit Akasha, Chidakasha. That is the biggest, which is unlimited, which is holding Chittakasha, Bahyakasha as well. So what is that? Chidakasha is the ether, the space of consciousness. So even this Ambara is also one of the Ashtamurtis. Aharnatha, that is Surya Narayana. Surya Narayana. Ayana means the support, pillar, the base. For Nara, for the woman, for all of us to live, exist in this Vishwa. Who is that? Surya Narayana. So that means Surya is the one who is giving the energy and the life to the whole Vishwa to be alive and working. It is energy. In the same way, Himamshu is moon, which is the matter, which takes care of the mental health, emotional health, plants, kingdom. So these 7 are taking care of the whole cosmos, plus they are very much there in every being as well. What the cosmos is, macrocosm. This individual is the miniature microcosm of that macrocosm. So every individual Jivatma has all these 5 elements, plus Surya and Chandra also in every individual. And Puman, it is the Jiva who is yourself, myself, who are experiencing the world with the help of these 5 elements, Surya and Chandra, and through the 5 senses and Antakaran. And of course, this physical body. Nanyat kinchana vidyate vimrishatam yasmat parasmat vibho. So, as I told you, vimrishatam, that person who is able to discriminate between kshetra and kshetrajna, he is able to see beyond nama and rupa, the multiplicity of this universe. He is able to go beyond and see that everything is nothing but that Paramatma, Ishvara. He understands that. So, when we take this Vishwarupa as sadhana, there are 4 types of devotees who do this upasana. Arti, one who is in great distress. Arti. So he wants some support. He turns towards Ishvara. He wants Ishvara as support, as savior, as protector. Arti. Artharti, one who is aspiring, desirous. He wants things in this world. So he also goes to Ishvara. This Arti and Artharti have taken themselves as, I am the limited Jivatma. I need these things to be happy. So he is leading a perfect Jivatma life, because of which he is taking the help of Ishvara. The next one is Jignasu. He has understood there is some disturbance in what I know and what I'm feeling and experiencing the world. I want to know who I am, what this world is. So, for that, he also goes to Ishvara because he wants to know the truth, the eternal reality. He wants to know. Jignas, that keen desire to know, to have that Brahmavidya, knowledge. He also goes to Ishvara. Another one, Jnani, one who has realized what the whole thing is. He sees the whole Vishwa as Ishvara. So, with joy, he just adores and experiences Ishvara, 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 Ishvara. So, for all four types of devotees, this Vishwarupa Upasana or Ashtamurti Upasana is a very good base, a very good path to proceed. So, Shankaracharya is really helping us by jotting down all Upanishadic injunctions and guiding us how to go within, how to realize what I am, who I am, and what this Vishwa is. How to have a sturdy grounding in knowing I am the pure consciousness. I am that Brahman. I am that Atma. And he is also teaching us through this Ashtakam how the third circle Brahman, Nirakara Nirguna Sarvavyapi Atma, is the one which is also the same Ishvara, which is also the Jivatma. So there is nothing other than Brahman. Brahman in different forms. So that we understand. The next one is Sarvatmatvamiti Sphutikritamidam Yasmat Amushmin Stave. This stava, stotra, is clearly like a crystal clear knowledge. It is telling us Sarvatmatva, Sarva Atmatva. Everything is nothing but Atma. There is nothing other than Atma. It is the Atma, Atma. Everything is nothing but Atma. Sarvatmatva. All beings, the whole Vishwa is Atma. Sarvatmatvam iti sphutikritamidam. This Ashtaka makes it very clear. Tenasya shravanat tadarthamananat dhyanat cha sankirtanat. So, by listening to the Guru, by hearing, by listening, Shravana, tadarthamananat, by reflecting, ruminating, by investigating the meaning in depth. It is Arthamanana. And then dhyana, and meditating on that. We heard with intense focus and single mind, we have heard what is taught to us. That is reflected again and again from different angles, contemplated. When that is settled in the mind, dhyana, it stays in the mind, and one keeps the thought on that aspect. That is the injunction of the Veda and the Upanishad. Tat Tvam Asi. And then Sankirtanat, by keep reciting it again and again, by singing it again and again. What happens to that sadhaka? Sarvatmatva mahavibhuti sahitam syat ishwaratvam swataha. So when a person goes through this cycle of gaining the knowledge and making it part of himself through dhyana, shravana, arthamanana, dhyana, and then sankirtana, keep repeating it, reciting it again and again. Sarvatmatva, he gets that capacity to see everything as Atma. He becomes clear in his experience that I am Atma, I am Sarvavyapi. So he sees that Atma being everywhere. Sarvatmatva he gets. Along with Mahavibhuti Sahitam, with magnificent power in him, and which comes on its own. Automatically he gets that Ishwaratva. Ishwaratva means he becomes the Lord. Ishwaratva. He gets Sarvatmatva and Ishwaratva. See, what else is there? Sarvatmatva means all Atma as everything, pervading everything, and become the Lord of that Sarva. Is that all? No, hold on. Siddhyet tat punarashtadha parinatam chaishwaryam avyahatam. So for this person who has already got Sarvatmatva and automatically getting that Lordship, Ishwaratva as well, along with that he also gets Ashtadha Parinatam, the 8 powers, the 8 kinds of psychic powers, and Aishwarya, the wealth of different kinds. It keeps coming automatically. So this is what this shloka is talking about. So it is summarizing like the phala of the whole Ashtaka. Shankaracharya is telling us, we know, we have seen how Shankaracharya never misuses even a single letter or a word without any deeper meaning or purpose. He never misuses any letter or the word. So if he is coming up with one stanza with these words, it means it has to be the pramana. It has to be the truth. It has to be the truth. So Let us see. Sarvatmatpamiti sputi kritamidam yasmat amushmin stave. So, this Ashtaka, as I told, it is giving us the knowledge, the guidance to go in that path after having the guidance, knowledge. What is it? Where is it taking us? Tat Tvam Asi. You are not Jivatma forever and ever and ever. You are not the limited individual forever and ever and ever as you are thinking and as you are behaving. It is the notion. So, in reality, Tat, that Brahman, Tvam, you, Asi, are. You are that Brahman indeed, is what he is showing, which is Upanishadic injunction. He is making it very clear through these 10 stanzas. As Jivatma, we hardly understand that the whole world is within us. Everything is happening within. But we are experts in seeing the world outside and interacting with the outer world. We are experts in that. But we are neglecting, not giving enough effort to know and to experience what is there inside, what it is. Once we go within, we realize that there is no out and inside. There is no you and me. Everything is just one Brahman. In that one Brahman, which is unlimited, Sarvavyapi, Ananta, in that everything is happening. Everything is there within that. Everything is nothing but Brahman. Sarvam Brahmamayam. That is what this stava, the stotra, is hinting at, guiding us towards that. To contemplate and get the benefit of it. So, when we understand, I am nothing but the pure consciousness, I am that Atma, the mind becomes very sharp in stopping the mind to work in erratic way. Kopa, tapa, dukkha, all these emotions which we assume that I am angry, I am sorrow. All these things will be kept at bay. So the leading the life would become peaceful, and it gives more space for the mind to go beyond, isn't it? That is the thing which we studied about the last previous stanza. How to come out of the three walls which are created by the mind. So unless we give the place, the space needed, time needed, the effort needed for that mind to contemplate and come out of it, it's never possible without that effort. So this stava, this stotra is certainly giving us a very good base to proceed in this path. As long as we are tied up in that Dvaita Bhava, I am the individual, limited Jivatma, forever and ever, the world will be there right in front of us. And we have to struggle with it because we are putting that boundary, and certainly it goes here and there. But coming out of it is important, for which this Ashtakam is very helpful. Mind is emotion in that infinite consciousness which is there. We are hanging on to the mind as the base. So we are getting into the trouble. If we hang on to the ocean like infinite consciousness, the mind will have to give way for me to stay as that ocean. So mind is like the wave. How long can a wave survive? How long can I ride on the wave? Instead, if I just stay on the surface level, making that wave just pass through. If you have gone into the very wavy ocean or even the sea, you would have experienced it. You have to be firm when the wave is coming, when the big wave comes. If you are not firm, the wave will make you fall and it will push you aside. Some other people, they know how to lift up the legs and go with the wave and come back to the ground at the same place. All of us have enjoyed that, both the ways. But no one can keep riding on the wave because it is very, very transient. So mind is that. Mind is that wave. Why are we hanging on to the mind, which is making us Jivatma, Jivatma, Jivatma forever? So, right now we are in the position to know and to step into that path of knowing I am the ocean, I am not the wave. So, mind is that wave. Mind is just the motion. But I am the consciousness, which is the ocean. Tenasya Shravanat Tadarthamananat Dhyanacha Sankirtanat. Shravana. Why did he say Shravana? Listening. More than reading, studying the scriptures. Shravana, listening, is more important, especially in learning or taking the Atmavidya. Because Atmavidya is something which is experiential knowledge. So that can be possible only when the mind is totally like a clean slate. When you are listening, that egotism, aham, is not working. It keeps quiet. Did you understand? That egotism, I am listening. It will not involve in listening. It just stays quiet. because of which the mind becomes very clear when you are attentively listening to someone. So listening automatically makes the mind clear. So whatever the guru is telling is like he writing on the clean slate. So it is he who is writing in the mind. So it goes directly into the mind and then the intellect, and then it stays in chitta as good memory. But if you are reading it yourself, that egotism, aham, has to work very much. Otherwise, it will not go into the brain. Have you seen it? Experiment it. When you read, you're putting your full concentration, and I am reading, I have to know it, that I is working. But that I is limited. It can make mistake. It can misunderstand, or it can understand only half of the thing what it is reading. Got it? So between reading a scripture, listening to the scripture, between two, listening to the scripture is more beneficial, more effective. So Shravana is given the importance, not reading. And then Tadartha Manana, pondering, contemplating, thinking continuously and reflecting on it is Arthamanana, on the meaning, what I heard. I have to understand the meaning of what I heard and then reflect on it by tallying it with the experiences in my life. So when you make that tallying, making it as part of your life, what you have heard and what you have understood. So naturally you will start understanding what is said, because you have direct experience which is very similar to it. So the understanding will become clear. There is clarity in understanding when you start reflecting and contemplating on it. Once that becomes strong, you will also have visualization of that. Once a thought or the topic or the mantra comes to the level of visualizing it and personalizing it inside, automatically it becomes part of us, and the next one, dhyana, will take place on its own. Even if the mind wants to go somewhere else, do 101 jobs, it will be doing the job. But within, in the deep anthakarana, dhyana of this point, thought will keep going on and on and on. So, dhyana and sankirtana. Sankirtana is very important. Once we have heard it, once we have understood the meaning, and we have contemplated, we have reflected on it, and we have made it part of us, and the mind is also working on it continuously as dhyana. On top of it, if we keep reciting it loudly, sankirtana, kirtana means to sing with joy, to recite it with joy loudly, it has so many different benefits. It is not, Sankirtana is not like the japa. Japa is done very quietly. Slowly it will become silent. And to the extent that japa will be done, even the tongue should not be moving. Only the mind should be repeating the japa. It is very quiet and silent. Opposite of that is Sankirtana, where you will be singing with joy, reciting with joy, loudly. What's the benefit? Arthamanana, Nidhidhyasana will be happening again and again, again and again. If you are singing it 10 times, the mind with so much of love towards that thought or topic, what is handled in that stotra, will keep running again and again. So there will be new revelations, new understanding of the stotra, the new experiences of the stotra. Because when I am getting the meaning of that stotra in one way, the joy is one thing. Next time when I repeat it again, maybe some other meaning will also catch up my mind, and I start visualizing and stay in that joy. So there is chance for me to go deeper into the stotra. The meaning also becomes deeper, intense, as we keep repeating it again and again. And not only that, when we sing it loudly, naturally, there are many other people around, the plants around, the animals around, maybe the rocks around will also be listening. See, they also will be listening. It will have the effect on them. What you did during Shravana from your Guru, and you are imparting it to so many people around you when you are reciting again and again. So you are creating good human beings around you, the good world around you, good society around you by this Sankirtana. It is a dharma karya which we will be doing if we are singing Kirtana, like bhajana, Sankirtana. It should be there. So this Sankirtana is like the ripples. When you put a stone, no ripple will stop at one ring. It keeps becoming bigger, 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 and it fills the whole place. Isn't it? In the same way, the Shravana, Tadartha Manana, and Dhyana is like putting the stone. The Shravana, through Shravana, the stone is already put. And by Sankirtana, you're making it bigger and bigger and bigger, reaching more people around you. The whole environment becomes beautiful because it is the stotra, stava, which you are repeating again and again and again. So it is useful for the sadhaka as well as to the society. And it is a dharma karya, which is good. Sarvatmatva maha vibhuti sahitam syat ishwaratvam swataha. Sarvatmatva, the one who is doing this again and again, who has gone through the cycle of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, Dhyana, and Sankirtana, he gets Sarvatmatva Shakti, that knowledge, that power of seeing everything as Atma. And automatically he becomes the Ishvara. Ishvaratva also he gets. Siddhet tat punara ashtada parinatam jaishwaryam avyahatam. When he is having this Ishvaratva, Sarvatmatva, it is automatic that he also gets different kinds of psychic powers, siddhis, and Aishwarya of different kinds. It comes on its own. In Manasollasa, Sureshwaracharya, he says, a person who is cooking during winter in the kitchen, it is very cold outside. It is winter. A person who is cooking in the kitchen on the oven automatically comes out of cold. He is relieved from the cold. In the same way, whoever is having the Atmavidya, who is walking in the path of Brahmavidya, automatically gets all these powers. A person who is carrying jasmine flower, carrying the jasmine flower from one place to another place, is his job. That is what he is doing. But experiencing the nice fragrance of jasmine flower is happening automatically. He need not give any effort towards that. It's coming automatically. Swataha. So like that, I can give you one more example. If we keep the goal of getting the knowledge in the school, automatically we also get the uniform, shoes, the tiffin box, nice snacks in that, so many things, friends, recognition, everything will be there automatically. But if my goal itself is, I want to wear the shoes, I want to wear the uniform, I will be stuck in that level itself, but I am giving up on much higher goal. I will be stuck in that. So like that, this Ashtaka is giving us a chance to have the goal and work towards it. For that, Dakshinamurthy, in the form of Shankaracharya, is helping us, guiding us. Only thing is, we have to just move with him. So again, I would like to remind you once again, yes, we have understood intellectually Dakshinamurthy, what he is telling, what is the Vedantic view about I, who is Jivatma, who is Ishvara, what is this world. We understood. But practically when we see, We are Jivatma 99% of the time, isn't it? So slowly we have to work towards reducing that 99% to little more, little more, little more, little more. And like that, we have to make it towards zero. But as long as we are in Deha Buddhi, we have to be able to see the whole Vishwa as Ishvara. And I bow down to that Ishvara. Deha Buddhyatu Dasoham. That I have to follow. As long as I am thinking that I am this body and this mind, when I'm working through the mind and through the body, the best way to behave is to be dasa, to be serving, to know that there is supreme. But is that the end? No. When you are working towards going up, we also realize when we contemplate and do the dhyana, meditation, every day, when we do it, Jiva Buddhyatu Twadamshakaha. When I am able to reach to the level of feeling, experiencing, even for half second, that's enough. Even then, it's a lot. We realize that we are part of that Ishvara. I am part of that Ishvara. Jiva Buddhyatu. Atma Buddhyatu Tvamevaham. When we go into that samadhi where I am able to annihilate the mind which keeps saying aham, 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 even that mind when it goes up. I am not there as individual, but I would have become just the Atma. At that level, I am the Ishvara. Itime nishchita manaha. This is what my firmed up answer to you, O Rama, says Hanuman. So we can take the help of this shloka to grow from Deha Buddhi to Jiva Buddhi to Atma Buddhi. For that, we have to behave accordingly, for which this Dakshinamurti Ashtaka is very, very, very helpful. So let us hope, let us pray and be in touch with Dakshinamurti through all these stotras and ashtakas, so that we can see the progress in our own selves. And some of you have expressed your wish that you want to learn Nirvana Shataka, which are 6 verses. It is good, I thought, because in the Dakshinamurti Ashtaka we have understood intellectually the points on which we have to really concentrate and contemplate and meditate. And even for this Vishwarupa Upasana or Ashtamurti Upasana, this Nirvana Shataka would really help us. So it might take another 2 sessions or so. Only thing needed is please make yourself mentally available during that period. That's all is needed. So let us take it in contemplative and meditative way of learning that Nirvana Shataka. So let us. Om. Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti 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 Om.